All right. Welcome into the half. My name is Aaron Montgomery. You can find me at oursuccessgroup.com. It's been a little while. Who's this gentleman sitting next to me this way over here? How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm Eric Campbell. You can find me at erichcampbell.com
There we go.
if you don't know that. But how I'm doing is a little energized today because we just had a really excellent episode of the Two Regular Guys. I mean, I try not to just turn this podcast into talking about the Two Regular Guys, but we had an excellent episode with John Morris, and he was just on it
Yeah.
for social selling and how to get in touch with people and actually engage. And it was well worth it. If you missed that, you need to be part of the hashtag replay squad. Get in on Two Regular Guys and check that out because that was super engaging and honestly made me want to go sell today, which is a heck of a thing because I'm not always naturally that guy, even though I do a lot of e-commerce. He made me want to go cultivate relationships
So
today.
go check your DMs. You'll have Eric in your
Yes.
DMs selling his way.
Selling stuff I don't sell, like just randomly. I'm just going to sell you stuff around the house that I
Man.
think would be good for
All right.
you because I want to help your purpose.
I see how I can
today.
use this then. I'm going to, after this, Eric, we'll talk and you can sell our Success Group products and
Just anything you got. If I think it's good for someone, it's today is the
then
day
he's
because
gonna- yeah,
John
gotta
got
be
me
honest.
fired up. So
Nice. Yeah, I agree.
it's
And
good stuff.
just so you guys know, just so you know, Eric, actually did go back and watch last week's episode that you and Terry had.
You did.
You know, not checking in on you or anything like that, but I just happened to bring it up because I wanted to see what all good information you had, and there was a ton of it. So, and you did also say last week that you didn't want to turn it into the post Two Regular Guys show, but you
I
still
say that
did,
every week,
so.
but then especially with Terry on, it was kind of like, man, we just got done doing the show. And Terry's never on, so like, okay, we're talking about Two Regular Guys. We have to,
right.
we want to
That's
do
right.
that. That's our connection, man.
That's
what
right.
we do.
All right. Well, the real connection here are the people, Eric. The people.
Absolutely.
Bevy Jean, good day. From the sun is actually out 2 days in a row in the UP, the Upper Peninsula. That's okay.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Well,
I've
good
missed
thing
you,
we've
man.
got.
Good to
I'm
see
sure
you,
the
Bevy.
Yoopers are out and catching some sun then.
Yeah, they're probably. I remember my first time going to Washington State, right?
Mhm.
And they're known for all the rain they get there too. And I was in a meeting with some people. We were kind of doing this like weekend retreat, and all of a sudden, all the people from Washington just like we took a quick break and they just scattered. They all ran outside. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I'm like, what are you guys doing out here? And they're like, the sun is out. We have to go outside while the sun is out. It's only out for a little bit. I'm like, well, I live in Phoenix. So, at the time I
Yeah,
lived
right.
in Phoenix. Anyhow, all right. Yeah, Ramona says, oh my God, what a great episode of Two Regular Guys. I'm so excited to put things into practice that John shared today. So agreed, Ramona. Thank you for sharing that. Let's see here. Barb, hello. Good morning. And
Good morning,
she's saying
Barb.
hello to everybody else as well. Ramona, building relationships, engage people to people. I love it.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I don't know how many times I've said you have to take the risk to actually care. I mean, the risk, I'm going to put the little scare quotes on it. You have to actually look into what's going on with people and care about what they're doing and take a real interest. Pretend this is someone you're trying to date if you have to. Like,
Yeah.
what is it that you're doing to try and build a relationship with this person? What is it that you're doing to try and be their best friend? And I'm not saying you're going to do that, but take some interest in what they're doing in their businesses and what makes things good. It enables you, honestly, it also helps you make decisions about what you can help them with.
Yeah.
It helps you find solutions for them that are based on your business. Then you don't have to feel scuzzy like used car salesman version of sales. You can feel like I'm helping a friend with something I know will help them.
Yeah.
And that all comes out of knowing people and asking more questions. So
Yeah.
really, it was just spot on today.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Barb says, hi, Bevy Jean. Beautiful here in Minnesota today. Have several windows open. So that's a good news. Christine says, hey guys, great show today on the Two Regular Guys. I think pitch slap is my new favorite phrase. I
Okay,
love
well,
that.
let's clarify that one really carefully, Aaron. Why don't you give us pitch slap?
Pitch slap.
The
Yeah,
definition of this neologism
is basically, showing up in somebody's direct messages or whatever, and just here's my pitch. Here's the links to go do business with me.
Yeah.
John described it as like somebody sitting down next to you at the bar and saying, hey, why don't you just spend $50,000 with me? It'll be great. Right. Kind of thing.
Oh, how many times have we done that? Someone wants to connect with us on LinkedIn. Even if we feel like we know them or they're a secondary connection, the very first thing, hey, Eric, it's good to see you. You know that I have caps and I come out of this place and this is what I do for the business and this is how I provide. And you're like, okay, whoa.
Yeah.
Hi.
Who does your digitizing?
Yeah, that personally hurts. The digitized one personally
I figured that
hurts.
would actually send a dagger.
Yeah, I digitized $5, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. If you had read even any of my bio, you'd know. Especially back in the day, I'm like, so I'm a digitizer. I do what you do. You don't need to explain it to
Yeah,
me, and I
I kind of
don't
got
need your
this. I may
services.
teach it.
Like
But
I'm
no,
good. I'm good.
but
Not
it's
that I
really
haven't used others. I have,
yeah. I,
but still,
it see so that exact thing. Like
yeah.
I had a message in my LinkedIn messages the other day from somebody that is use the pay for service, right? They pay
Yes,
to like
yes,
email people or whatever to
yeah,
message people there.
yeah.
And again, it was I got pitch slapped. The guy shows up, he says, I can't even remember now. I mean, it was so bad that I just like got rid of it. But he basically came in and asked who was asked me something like, "Oh, I know you're really busy, so I want to be brief." And then he got right into selling me something, and I thought to myself, I almost responded, but I didn't. Like, you know what? I don't even want to give this guy any more of
No,
my
no time for
time.
that. Yeah,
I almost
sure.
responded and said, if you took, like you said, if you took 30 seconds to read exactly what it is that I do, you
Mhm.
realize that you bring no value to me like this. Are there other ways that we could connect and bring value to each other? A
Oh
hundred
yeah,
percent. But
totally.
we will never get that opportunity now because you just ruined it by how you showed up, right?
Oh, 100%. I have it all the time. In fact, the funny thing is the only reason sometimes I'll talk to people is because I see that secondary option and I tell them that. And sometimes I'm like, man, I am being a good Samaritan here because invariably I'm giving them a better opportunity than they would have had in the first place. Like, here's this opportunity I can open them up to. And goodness of my heart, I might say something, but it has nothing to do with the original pitch. If they just hit me with the full slap, though, and this is the thing John said, which I agree with. He's like, if someone does that, I just write them off. Like, he's like, I'm not going to do business with you flat out because you're not part of our culture, especially because what he's talking about over at Club Colors, which where he's from, is
Yeah.
that they have this really strong corporate culture of how they do promotional business. Which any of you guys who are doing embroidery screen printing, you're in promotional business. You may not know that you're doing ad business, but you're doing ad business.
Yeah.
Impressions and ads are part of what we do. We're helping people promote themselves. But yeah, he says that because of the way their culture is, somebody hits him with the slap and they're just done. Like,
Yeah.
he's not going to consider you again because he knows what he's in for. He knows he's going
Mhm.
to get, a boatload of catalog inserts and that's about it. He's going to get
Yeah.
slapped with the newest Tumblr picture and not anything else. No,
Yeah.
no content. No, it's like all filler.
Yeah. Uh,
Everyone can get you a decorated garment. Not everyone can get you a creative solution that helps.
correct. Okay.
That's how it
That
is.
thing that you always say about being consultant, not a
Yeah.
commodity, right? And
Yeah. Be a
so
consultant like money. You got to do it.
yeah. Yeah,
Do
so
it.
I had to go pull it up because it was like I actually
It's
got
that
that.
bad.
Well, yeah, and I got that like I'm pissed off again, and so now I really have to share it, right?
All right.
So
All
here,
right.
here it is.
Hear
I
it.
know you are incredibly busy, so I will get right to the point. Is your fulfillment center adapting in 2022? What is your biggest issue when it comes to fulfilling and distributing your orders? If you go to my LinkedIn
Yep.
profile, you will not see anything that talks about me selling any actual products. It's all about the services that our success group provides.
Yep.
Though we might ship a few things here and there for some other things
Sure.
we do. I do not talk about
Sure.
that at all on LinkedIn. So if he would have taken 30 seconds to read my LinkedIn bio, he could have said, "Hey, do your customers have challenges with their fulfillment in
Oh,
2022?"
totally.
Right. And I could have gone,
Totally.
"Oh, yeah, it's certainly maybe you could help some of the people that are OSG members." Right.
Or
But
flatly, I mean, I hate to say this, we have a podcast where we talk about industry stuff. If anybody read far enough to see that that podcast is part of the stuff that we're doing, they could have said, "Can I talk to your listeners about fulfillment centers?" And they have a shot. There's a potential that
yeah,
we would be
he
like,
showed up. Right. That
"Oh
guy
yeah,
showed
that's
up.
okay. Oh yeah, sure." And that could happen. That could happen because we have people reach out to us sometimes with podcasts who have nothing to do but sell, and they don't get a lot of, they don't get short shrift. But at
Yeah.
the same time, there are people who reach out and might be outside the industry who you might get exposed to a huge base of listeners if you noticed what we were doing at all or paid attention.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
that's indicative of everything in the market. How many times
Yeah.
you want somebody to just hit you with that? And by the way, pitch slap. Yes, I'm going to be very careful with that one. That is awesome. There's a couple others I love. Promo products industry killing it with new words in the last couple of years. Pitch slap, I love. Brand fill, the stuff
Yeah.
that we brand that is just junk that's not meant to be kept around. Love that one. So, and also the other funny thing is, I heard the other slap is the logo slap. Not as funny as the pitch slap, but this I also love the logo slap, which is one of my least favorite things. You take one logo, put it on everything with no consideration for what it's going on, what it'll look like in use, uh, design considerations, or any other sort of coordination. You just take the one logo and you slap it on anything that can take a print or or stitch. That's the logo slap, and it's like I said, those are things that I'm watching out there. People are starting to at least call us out a little bit on the way old business has been done, and I'm kind of glad because we
Yeah.
need more. We need more Johns and more, people doing coordinated work, more Jeremy Pickers doing the creative stuff he's
Yeah.
doing, and
Yeah.
less logo slap, pitch slap, and brand to fill.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I slap my logo everywhere, but I feel like I'm not always just logo slap. Now I could use a little help from Eric from time to time. I get it, right? But I'm going to put my logo everywhere, but I do try to make sure that it's all
Oh
on
no.
brand.
Well, it's also the thing is it's more about the sales version of it, I
Yeah.
think, where people use logos for things that don't work, that don't add anything to the brand. If you throw a logo that only can be seen large, if we have lots of tiny text and detail, and you put like something that is round, small logo, throw it on the side of a pen, and it's a black dot, and there's nothing to it, and you can't read anything. And if you
Yeah.
don't do something to expand on or change the brand, if it's on a pen, it's not as good. If you put a
Yeah.
tall, skinny logo on a hat, we have limited vertical space on the hat. The logo's little and tiny, and now we have a stick that can't be seen from any distance that doesn't say
The
anything.
French fry that does nobody any good.
Exactly. That's the kind of thing I'm talking about with the logo slap. It's about
Yeah.
what is this thing supposed to do? When someone sees it, what action do you want them to take, or what do you want them to notice?
Yeah.
There's a message being communicated, and I think and I was in business to business, guys. I did this all the time where really the buyer at the end was just like, boss said we need more hats. And sometimes that's all they want. They're just like, I got a logo that we already paid for. I got a hat. Put a logo on the hat. I don't want, there is going to be that person, but those aren't the high paying clients that we want the most. The people who are super, into it, high paying, who come back and pay more for margin, leave us more
Yeah.
margin
Yeah.
on it. For me, have been people who want to do creative stuff
Yeah.
and who are looking to have cool gear
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is more than just the logo slab.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
complaint.
And
But,
honestly, I think John kind of alluded to
yeah,
that a little bit today, where they just won't do it. Right. And it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, we just won't do that. If you just want a logo slap, then
Well, you can
that's
upload
not
that
for us, right?
online.
Go
Yeah,
to whoever.
any
But
any number of online decorators will allow you to upload your own junk
yeah, to logo slap.
image
We'll
and logo
we'll
slap
call
it.
those the logo slappers, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah,
All
man.
right. Let's keep going here. Kristen really got that one. Really great show. Good
Thank
morning,
you.
Cindy. Thanks for being here. We'll skip everybody saying hi to each other. I love that.
but
Good
yes,
community. FU
Facebook
Facebook
user.
user, and we know who this is.
That's
So
Todd.
Todd,
Yo, Todd.
Todd, fix your Facebook, bro.
Get on the YouTube.
And good morning to Justin.
Justin,
Thanks for being
digitizer,
here.
who I'm sure has
And
heard plenty.
one of the other embroidery nerds, Mr. Jeff
Yeah.
Fuller, in the
Which, by
house.
the way, they just did their merch release. They just got to send out their shirts. So they do printed shirts every year. So they know what's
Cool.
up. They're doing merch.
Nice. Awesome. Christine says, least favorite thing on LinkedIn, people that want to connect. And then as soon as you do, they try to sell you something. Immediate unconnect frequently results. Yep. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm right there with you, Christine. People connect. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, for the most part. And then if the first thing they do is they're going to sell me something, then it's immediate. I don't even respond. It's an unconnect immediately. So, yeah.
Also love the pasted response that still contains someone else's name in part of the response. You're not even doing automation properly. I mean, it's not even as good as bad AI.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. All right. Kristen says, I lie to the digitizers that call and tell them I do it in house.
You always could. Somebody could teach you.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
you don't have to.
All right. Ramona says, oh my God, Aaron, I've done that. But of course, I wasn't as professional about it as you were.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember which part that was.
I think that was the either the disconnect or the reply and tell them that they should have looked.
Yeah. Exactly.
For sure.
I'm the same way. If I get pitch slapped, it's over for you. There's virtually nothing you can do to come back from that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, rarely have I had somebody where I look at what they're doing and I'm like, okay, I see what's happening here. Maybe it's not, egregious. Or it's somebody who's new entering into the market. Because I've had some times where I'm looking at an older business that looks like they're just entering social media, and you're like, all right,
Yeah.
I can see that your business is real. I can see that you mean it, and you just don't quite know what's going on here. And I'll say, hey, why don't you tell me more about what you actually do?
Yeah.
Rarely.
Yeah. Yep.
Rarely.
Mike, Friday, what's
What's
up? It
up?
is Friday. Yes, indeed. Loving it.
Post Cinco de Mayo, so I'm sure some of you are sleepy, but hey, you'll get through.
Yeah.
Sleepy,
I did tell my story about the old guys and their tequila last night. I was like, wow.
indeed,
Like I said,
indeed.
when I'm in my upper 40s and I'm the young guy on the team, then
Hmm.
that's how I still look good and I can still be the best guy on the team, right? All right. So
I'll just
Christine
say,
says,
definitely the neighbors around here. I wasn't imbibing or enjoying, but it was very obvious in multiple ways that all of the things that were legal were being enjoyed last night. So thanks, neighbors. That was
thanks, neighbors. Yeah,
excellent.
appreciate
Thanks,
that.
guys.
All right. Christine says the other thing that is so annoying is the people who spam you with the same message 59 times and then come in with, I'm only going to email you one more time if you don't respond. Kills me every time. If you emailed me multiple times and I don't respond, I'm probably not going to respond. Try to shame me won't make me
Yes.
any more likely to respond. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, don't do
And
that.
what they're doing though is there is this idea that where you want to just you get to the end like what at this point you got to kind of shake it up but
Sure.
see what that's from is when somebody actually asks to be on your email list first or
Yes.
asks
Yes.
for
Yes.
information and then doesn't respond, then that works, right? Or that has a better chance of working. But if you're just out there randomly cold spamming people and then trying to shame them into responding,
Well,
forget about it. That's stupid.
the sh- part of it doesn't have to be there. And actually, I'm bring a comment if you don't mind.
Yeah,
I
please.
love this with what Mike says, Christine. Right? Even if I was interested, I'm not going to get it from you.
Yeah,
And the thing about
exactly.
that is the way you come to it. I've had somebody send me an email. Now it's getting a little bit too static. People are doing this all the time, so it's not having the same effect. But I remember when people first sent me emails that said, "We've noticed you haven't opened our email in 6 months. What could we do differently?"
Yeah,
That little change in attitude, I opened that email. Now,
yeah,
admittedly, people are doing it so much that it's like a stock line now
yeah,
that maybe that's not as good. But what is good is the difference between, hey, you're going to miss out on these deals if you don't open the email. I'm like, all right, cool. Obviously didn't want those deals, and you can go ahead and unsubscribe me, fine. But if somebody said, "Hey, what would make you want to open this up?"
yeah,
and we got a poll, I'm like, "Okay, okay, a little different. You're trying to
yeah,
serve my needs. You're trying to ask me what I need out of you." And honestly, a lot of the times, we all know we sign up for certain things. Like you want a white paper about a thing, you want
yeah.
they do a giveaway of a downloadable. They
Sure.
do, and you sign up for it once because you want the stupid giveaway, and then you don't think
Yeah,
about it. Admittedly, people need to realize that they're going to filter those things out. And we also have to realize that it's not actually personal. But the thing is, they're not really going to build anything better than that. They're not going to build anything better than that with
yeah.
with the
If
funnel
if you
technique that
got
they're
that
using.
if you got that white paper and you got nothing else out of it, then yeah, that's on them to
Yeah.
improve what's going to get people to show up and want to engage in your
Oh,
services.
and if I downloaded your downloadables, read them, and none of that made me take an action, I
Yeah,
mean, probably your next 5 emails potentially shaming me into missing the next white paper aren't going to do that.
yeah,
So we'll
yeah,
have to see.
yeah, yeah, for sure. You know,
Yep.
Eric, I'll share real quick.
Yeah.
Maybe I've shared this on here before. I'm sure I've shared it somewhere, but my favorite way to get feedback from people
Yeah.
is to ask them about whatever it is you're trying to find out about, like,
Yeah.
how am I doing? It's just that how am I
Sure.
doing kind of idea. If you can you rate how I'm doing on a scale of 1 to 10?
Hmm.
And then the follow up to that is if it's not a 10, how could I have earned a 10 from you? I mean, just real simple, right?
Sure.
So,
Sure.
because then that gives them space to go, okay, I'm not telling you that you're a bad person. I'm
No.
just sharing how it would have worked for me to be able to rate you a 10. I mean, you get the like, oh, I never rate anything a 10. Okay, fine.
Good
Whatever.
enough. I
But
mean, at
but
least it feels like
again, if
that.
you've got that, give them that space, like, how am
Yeah.
I doing?
Yeah.
10. If not a 10, what could I do to be a 10? And then you
Well,
put it back on what could I do? Not
yeah.
So anyhow,
Well,
just
the funny thing is, I think sometimes when we do that, we as people who might be asking this question might go, "Oh, well, somebody's going to say something jerky. What do I care?" It doesn't mean you have to follow their advice. And if someone says something jerky, fine, don't worry about that.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
also, I've done e-commerce since we had to build shopping carts onto sites.
Yeah.
Online interactions will include a percentage of jerks. If you haven't had one yet, you will have one
I
soon.
was gonna say, if
Like,
you haven't had one yet, you haven't had any
you're not
customers.
online at all.
Yeah, you're not really online.
I mean, it's actually less now, and people think, oh, what's worse now. I'm like, there was a
No.
whole period of time when it was completely anonymous to be online, and there was
Yeah.
a time when you didn't have to have real names attached to anything ever.
Yep.
That
Yep.
period of time, it was real jerky. People said anything they could imagine to make you feel bad.
Yep.
It's that what we have now at least has some kind of repercussions because you're coming from a user account where you're logged in. Before then, no. It's like, yeah, seriously, there's going to be jerks. That's fine. We don't have to take it personally. Saying that we open ourselves up to a comment doesn't mean we're taking fault.
Exactly.
You can
Yep.
just take it for what it is, and you can also ignore it if you really think it's not there. But hey, what is that, Jay Bear? Hug your haters. Like,
Hug your haters. Yep. The more
people who,
feedback you get, the better.
yeah, the feedback's going to help, and you never know. Plus, you might find that 10 jerky people who don't know how to talk to people still actually had a valid concern.
Yep.
And when they all come together in aggregate, you have something you can alter about your way you're doing things, for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep hitting the comments here.
Yeah, let's go for it.
I guess you need to have stickers, stick your logo all over office and house. I do have stickers around somewhere.
Maybe the only logo slap that's okay. Stickers are awesome.
The stickers, yeah. And Yosta, hello. Cindy, I'm actually making myself a cap right now. I don't wear caps, but it's a ponytail cap, so she's going to try it. And Mike asked, does anybody know where I can get info on my car's extended warranty? I would check your LinkedIn direct messages. You probably have 20 people in there that are selling that right now.
The 15 packets in your mailbox right now. I've got all those coming up.
That's right. You already got that one. That's a good comment for sure. Hello, Adelina. Sorry, excuse me.
Thank you.
As we know, my ability to butcher names is I'm a pro at that.
It's a brand now, though. It is
my brand.
It's Jay Bassell and the tacos. It's
Aaron butchering names. That's it.
Hey, it's Terry and his yellow legal pads.
That's right. God,
we make fun of him.
I wish
about
I
that,
just had a better brand than not being able to pronounce people's names, though. I just feel like I should improve my brand.
Volley here shortly, my man.
Yeah, that's right.
If you haven't seen
Justin, I'm already thinking of t-shirt prints for Pitch Slapped. I
know. Believe me, we were through that whole Two-Wheeler Guys. I'm sitting there imagining patches. So don't trust me. I keep thinking one of these days I'm just going to make more patches and start another little store. I got to not do it, but boy, is it tempting.
Yeah. Kristen says, or when you tell me that you've got me approved for a loan. Yes, and there's a prince in Saudi Arabia that needs to transfer you some money.
I don't get those anymore. All I get now are like, hey, we got an Amazon package for you. Hey, we got.
Yeah.
Did you know we have something? We have an unclaimed amount in your bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
and we got Jamie checking in. It's her last day in St. Louis. I actually had a chance to meet Jamie at the ZSK facility, and we talked a little bit about that on Two Regular Guys. Eric, you were featured prominently there. We talked about the take up. And,
thank you.
And so great to see you, Jamie. And what an awesome person. I can't wait to continue to kind of, she does such cool stuff, and she's so authentic and she's so real. And I just love what she's doing for people. So Jamie, can't wait.
Good stuff happened over at ZSK. So yeah, also cool to see everybody getting training, and that was cool to see that open.
Yeah. So nice. Thank you very much for saying so. She said it was fun. I got an opportunity to go spend an hour over there, just sharing passion subjects of mine, awesome. Which is hilarious because I get really stoked and excited about business plans where most people want to go sleep. I tried to make it to where it's not as boring as it sounds, right? Because it's not. It's an opportunity. It's the simple act of working on your business, and we got to talk about it in a more fun way, as opposed to this boring business plan, right?
I think, and honestly, that may be for the longest time. I felt like that was the brand for you, man. The business plan and the why.
Maybe we'll get back to that.
I work on your branding, man.
If I can work on pronouncing people's names right, I can change my brand. So. I am actually working on that.
It's the whole package, the feeling that you get. That's I mean, that's like the half. What is it? It's us bantering and talking to everybody and saying hi. That's what it is. It's the whole feeling. That's a brand.
Yeah.
That's the brand, the whole feeling.
Oh, so Ramona says she uses a junk email address for that subscribe to receive stuff. Yep, absolutely. Indeed. Marianne, good morning. Checking in.
Yes, Santa Fe, represent.
Yes. Christine says, sad but true. Anything you do where you have to deal with people will mean encountering a percentage of jerks. It's just part of things. You have to learn to shrug that off. And I'll take that one step further, if you don't mind, Erica, real quick.
Yeah.
Because the other way to kind of refocus this stuff, like when you get that jerk, because immediately we want to take it personally, right? That they're attacking us as a human being. And I get that, right? I have that same response too, that kind of, ouch. and then I want to defend myself. I want to fight back, right?
Sure.
But if you change that response, you recognize that response of feeling attacked, and then you go, because funny, when John was talking about like a story about his son, we're having this conversation right now with our son about, challenges that he's having as he's going into middle school here. Is what if you change that response of like, and then I want to fight back to, man, I wonder what's going on in their world, that their life's so rough that they have to act like this, right? And you change that into empathy, and then you respond so much differently, right? Or you don't respond and you just go, man, I'm really sorry that you're having to deal with that internally, and then you move on, and now it hasn't affected you at all. Like I said, I'd have those moments where I'd have that challenging person, and it would affect me for days on end, because I was just, I'm gonna get them back. I want to, and it would ruin my days for days on end. And now I'm able to kind of go, man, I'm really sorry that person is feeling that way. I can deal with it in a lot quicker way. It gets resolved a lot quicker if it is something that you have to resolve. And then I've got my day back. I'm happy. I'm good.
Well, and I'll say, I'm going to add my little corollary to that. Where I come to it from is, if I'm honest with myself, a lot of the times where I'm mad about a criticism that I'm getting, it's something that I'm already worried about in my mind, or something I'm shortchanging myself. It could be that I'm shortchanging myself. That's what everybody always tells me. But like, it's something that I'm worried about my own performance already. And I'm not actually, I'm lashing out at someone, or I want to lash out at someone because I'm already worried I wasn't doing a good job. If someone pointed something out that made me feel like I really wasn't doing a good job, they've confirmed a fear that I had. They confirmed a thing that was already sensitive within me, where I felt like I wasn't doing a good job. They confirmed it for me. But the part of me that's trying to protect myself, that's protecting, my ego, whatever, or protecting just the person that's inside of me, protecting me from feeling bad, goes, no, lash back out at them. Tell them that you're good at it. Explain why they were wrong. Fight against that. They're jerks, whatever. And you're like, why are you so worried about the jerky comment? Why is it hitting so hard? Because you've probably already engaged in some sort of negative self-talk, or you already have some opinion of yourself that they're tapping into. It's you who's worried about this. Now, there's also just times where flat out somebody has said something bad, untoward, and it has nothing to do with it. But if you can filter out the other two things, which is, number one, realizing that you don't know what journey anybody else is on or what they're going through. So who knows where that's coming from? It could be coming from a completely other place. They could have just had a bad night of sleep and got chewed out by their own boss on the way to what they're doing with you. Or the other thing, which is like, I'm overreacting to this because you've tapped into something that bothers me about myself, or something that I wish I could fix, or something that I wish I had handled differently, that I'm concerned about internally, that I'm not fessing up to myself. And with those two things out of the way, a lot of that feedback just becomes, easier to handle, or at least that there's other things that are going on.
Yeah. Christine says, definitely agree, Aaron. Understanding that other people's actions aren't caused by you, and having compassion for the pain that may be causing them to behave badly is vital. Other people's behavior is their responsibility, not yours. And exactly right. Your responsibility is then how you respond to that, and whatnot. And, maybe some of those things, like you said, Eric, when it's internal like that, it's an opportunity for us to go, okay, I need to work on that. Right. That's something that's of value to me. It's showing up in a way that's not serving me. So.
For sure. That's really important. I think that's fair. Super.
All
fair.
right, let's get this real quick because we're running out of time here. But I kind of reached out to you, Eric, and
totally.
Unfortunately, you guys weren't really necessarily directly affected, but I know a lot of people are affected. So hopefully, get some rain there in the New Mexico area, as there's some fires there. Eric,
people in Ruidoso, people outside of Las Vegas. I mean, there's so many places that I can't list off every place that was on fire. But we're talking about people evacuating, losing houses, everything. So if anyone is connected to New Mexico or has feelings about that, look for any of the reputable charities that are helping people out, and feel free. I mean, donate if you can. But if nothing else, spare a thought for the folks who are losing their houses and who are running from the fires. I mean, there's so many other things going on in the world. It's hard to even say that. But, hey, spare a thought for everybody who's suffering today. And,
for sure.
Wish them well.
Definitely wish them well. All right, let's close on this sticker that says pitch slap. They just slap that all over the place. So.
See, and that's what I was thinking, is like that, fake stickers on a print where there's pitch stickers slapped all over the front of the shirt that are obscuring a message behind it. That's the pitch slap.
The pitch slap. There it is.
Pitch slap.
All right, let's close on that.
It's time to stop the slap, people.
Stop the slap.
Stop the slap.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.